right, Nev. The time has come. We're doing another movie catch-up. But please, for the love of God, do not make another ketchup joke. We did the skit already.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that. I just had that was nothing. Oh yeah, let's go.
Welcome back to Real Talk Podcast, episode 135. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves to my left.
Thank you.
Today, we're going to switch it up, a little laid-back episode.
Yeah.
We're going to do a movie catch-up, talk about some stuff we've been watching lately, and also talk about some movie news lately, because with CinemaCon happening recently and just a lot of news coming out lately, so we're going to cover some big topics in film.
Oh yeah. There's a lot going on. I mean, we just found some of this out recently.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff to be excited about. But let's start with some movie catch-up, Nev. Let's start with what you've been watching lately, because you've watched some movies that I want to talk about.
Oh God, what do you want to start off with? Which, I guess Rebel Moon.
Let's get the worst out of the way.
Fuck. Okay, so y'all know I'm a Snyder fan.
Yeah.
But even Rebel Moon was shit. It was the worst fucking movie. So how I got into watching Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver, that's what it's called.
That's what it's called?
The Scar. You want to know why? Because the woman gives the villain the scar, so she's the Scar Giver. It is the dumbest fucking title ever, I know. Anyways.
Bro, I didn't even know that movie came out. I'm gonna be so honest with you. When you told me you had watched it, I didn't even know it was out yet.
Yeah.
Did the fucking director's cut come out of the first
Nope.
one?
I know. Anyways,
What the fuck is happening?
The reason why I watched Rebel Moon Part 2, because I'm going to be honest, I was not going to watch this, was my buddy Matt was like, hey, do you want to watch this on Discord drunk?
That's
and I was
fair.
like,
It's
yeah.
very much a meme Discord movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
We talked more about the Star Wars prequels while this movie was going than the actual fucking movie.
There you go.
We were like, yo, fucking Attack the Clones looking ass and
Yeah.
shit like that. But no, it is literally like the third act of a movie. It's just all action. But you don't give a shit about these characters, so who the fuck cares?
How did the first one end again?
It ended, the villain's alive
planet,
still, and they go back to the planet.
and the villain is about to go chase him again.
Yeah.
So basically nothing progressed.
And there is no official ending because they kill the villain who comes.
That's right.
But the Emperor is still alive, so they set up part 3.
Jesus
Which I
Christ.
don't fucking believe. Yeah, no. And the robot, Anthony Hopkins, that robot
Comes back?
Yeah, for like 2 minutes.
Again?
For 2 minutes, yeah.
Again,
Again.
like the most memorable character.
Is in it for the least amount of time because we have to show these other boring ass motherfucking characters that nobody cared about.
Cookie cutter ass, chat GPT ass
It was.
characters.
It really
man.
was. There, I just and they had the unnecessary romance in that girl and the guy.
Oh.
Yeah, they make out and they talk about their life, and I'm like,
Why?
I don't know. It's
Why?
a dumb movie. So yeah, Rebel Moon. If it wasn't for Madam Web, it's probably my least favorite movie of the year. Oh yeah, I saw Madam Web too. I saw Madam Web a lot more drunk in that one. I can tell you that much. And oh my God, that is actually worse than Rebel Moon. You wanna know why? Because Rebel Moon, it's a bad movie.
Right.
It is a clear bad movie. But the one thing I'll give it credit for is it's not sleazy.
Okay.
Zack Snyder doesn't come off as a sleazy person. Madam Web feels sleazy throughout the entire movie, and I hate that. I hate how it is. It doesn't even feel like, because the movie is like
in the sense that they're just trying to get something on screen. Like, is that what you mean? Like sleazy?
When I mean sleazy, I mean these attractive women. They act like they're empowering when it doesn't feel like that at all.
Right.
It feels disgustingly like, I don't even want to describe some of these scenes, man, because even when I was drunk, I saw it in the theater, I was like, this should not be allowed.
So it's just like real shallow shit.
Yeah, really, really fucking shallow. And that's why Madam Web is my least favorite movie
Fair.
of the year.
Rebel Moon had
It's bad.
some sort of ambition to be a better film.
Yes.
And what you're saying is Madam Web does not have that.
No, none whatsoever. It seemed like right off the bat, Sony wanted a quick cash grab.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. So, yeah, that's what I saw with Rebel Moon and that. I also saw Roadhouse. Remember we reacted to that
Hey,
trailer?
fellas.
Hey, fellas. Jake Gyllenhaal.
I did not watch Roadhouse. So I'll get around to it, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if you have to.
Someday when I'm drunk on Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
I'll get around to it. But the memes that have come from like cutting out Conor McGregor and putting him in other scenes of him just walking like, "Hey, fellas."
Oh my god, he walks like a fucking penguin, man, a roided out penguin. It's insane.
The clips I've seen, he's one of the worst actors to ever act in the history of acting.
No, he's not a good actor. However, he is amazing in this film because Jake Gyllenhaal's character is so fucking boring.
Really?
Yeah, no, he's not interesting at all. I think his performance, this might be my least favorite Jake Gyllenhaal performance because he doesn't have any charisma aside from being kind of sarcastic.
Right.
And he has a love interest, and the love interest just so happens to be connected with the corrupt cop because that's her dad. And it's all just this bullshit scheme to take over the bar. And it's just like, I don't give a shit. The most interesting character was Conor McGregor because he was just coked out of his mind.
And it's just fucking silly.
I just want, you know what I want? I want them to remake Crank, you know, the Jason Statham thing, but with Conor McGregor. I think that would be the funniest fucking movie ever. Because the rest of this movie sucks. It's nothing like the original Roadhouse, by the way.
And the original Roadhouse, guys, it's bad. Okay? I'm going to say it.
It ain't gourmet shit, all right?
It's bad, but I understand the cult following that it has.
Yes, the 1980s.
A lot of movies are bad in ways that make them good and bad in ways that make them memorable, quotable, etc., rewatchable, etc.
Exactly.
The original Roadhouse is the epitome of that.
Yes.
It's very fucking silly.
Oh, yeah.
But there's scenes that are memorable, and I understand why it has a cult following. If this one, the main character's fucking boring...
He's not Patrick Swayze. Patrick Swayze has a lot more charisma in the original Roadhouse. Jake Gyllenhaal, which, by the way, the whole MMA shit is just flashback. It's not real. It's not real.
It's not real.
It's not fucking real. They fucking it's just because he's a great fighter. He wants to be.
For over a year, I saw this clip of Jake Gyllenhaal in the UFC.
Yeah.
They filmed it right before a real UFC event.
Fuck, I fucked it up.
There you go. Red Bull sponsor us. Anyway,
yes, please.
They filmed it right before a real UFC event. I remember seeing video of it all over the place. Like the Roadhouse remake.
Yeah.
He's going to be an up-and-coming MMA fighter. I'm like, oh, yes. Conor McGregor's in it.
You think, they would fight in the
they were
octagon.
going to fight in the octagon. I'm like, funny. None of the clips I'm seeing have Conor McGregor in them in the ring, but we'll see how they do this. And they didn't.
They'd fight in the bar. And Conor McGregor gets stabbed 50 times, but because it's Conor McGregor and he has an ego bigger than the Rocky Mountains, he survives. There's a post-credit scene where he comes out of the hospital and he's like, "I'm back, fellas." And it's like, yeah, there's definitely going to be a sequel for this shit.
He's like, let's see what's going on over here.
Again, he is a terrible actor.
Oh, I love it.
But in terms of charisma, he's got it. He's got the charisma, and if they ever want to put him in a shitty action film, just have him be the main character.
He's one of the worst actors I've ever seen. But there is roles for him, like you're saying.
Absolutely.
There is roles where it's like it could be so bad it's good to have Conor McGregor in a movie.
Like I know the movie sucks, but Fast X, like the Jason Momoa type of character, I could see Conor McGregor
over
doing
the top villain. Yeah,
perfectly.
he could be very good at that, I think.
Yeah, but again, Roadhouse. This didn't need to be in theaters. I don't know why they made a big fucking deal of that. Remember Jake Gyllenhaal and the director? They're like, "This is a theater experience." No, it ain't, man.
No, it's not.
No, it ain't. This film would have bombed at the box office if you put it in fucking theaters, man. So,
yeah.
No, I wouldn't recommend that. I do have a couple other films that I saw. They're a little bit older. One was RoboCop 2. Because I saw the first RoboCop. Have you seen the first RoboCop?
I've seen the first one.
It's fucking amazing.
I haven't seen the sequel. I have not.
Here's the thing. A lot of people are complaining about modern day sequels, modern day reboots being like, "Oh, it's not like the old days where the sequels were way better."
Sure.
Are we talking about the same era? Like,
Right.
I think it's the fact that people focus on the good sequels and completely ignore the forgettable ones.
Right.
Like RoboCop 2. RoboCop 2 is not like Empire Strikes Back. RoboCop 2
It's a stinker?
It's okay.
Right.
It's like a Predator 2, Ghostbusters 2 era where you kind of just do the same plot but try to make it bigger. That's what RoboCop 2 is.
Double down, copy paste, double down.
It's
It's a formula in the 80s was a formula for a ton of franchises.
literally, man. Oh my gosh. But the cool thing about RoboCop 2 is it still has the political commentary of the first one.
Sure.
My favorite scene in the movie, I laughed for like a full minute, is when the old man who's in charge of OCP
Yeah.
and the guy, his right-hand man, they are watching their new robot destroy the entire town, city and stuff, and it's like murdering a bunch of people and the hospital is flipping out and stuff like that. And the old man's like, this might not look good for OCP Johnson.
You think?
Bring in the professional team to clean this up. And it's just like hilarious because
That's great.
everyone's dying and they still have a little bit of that. I just feel
A
like
couple of memorable moments in it. It's still RoboCop, right?
still
So-
RoboCop, but not as good as the first. Not a terrible sequel, but that one, yeah. That's the thing. People say that all the time with remakes and reboots. It's just like, oh, the modern ones suck. The old ones are good. It's like, no, the old ones you remember are good. Just like how in 30 years from now, we're not going to look at Roadhouse, the Jake Gyllenhaal one, where nobody's going to fucking remember that.
Yeah.
Or Rebel Moon. Like,
Yeah, time just kind of erases the bad sequels.
yeah, exactly.
And now because there's new bad sequels, it's like, oh, they fuck up all the sequels. But it's like, no, this has been happening forever, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. We're going to remember the good ones, and that's what I would say. But a movie that I did see that was really good, I know a lot of people might not think it is because of how it was treated back in the day, was Showgirls.
Showgirls.
This one was directed by Paul Verhoeven, who did RoboCop, who did Total Recall, Basic Instinct, a lot of those types of films. And this one is a lot more, raunchier, to say the least. It's Elizabeth Berkley plays a showgirl. She's like a dancer, and she's trying to be the most popular one in the group. She's trying to be the big one, like fish out of water story, if you will. But the way they handle it is so over the top, so insane, because she's in Vegas, she's doing all these crazy moves, all these crazy dances, and I personally love it. I think this one really works in terms of the highs and lows, the fall and rise of a showgirl, of someone who's dealing with all of these insane moments in her life.
So it's a rise and fall story of her, basically.
Yeah.
So it's not like an action movie at all.
No,
It's a different tone from Total Recall. RoboCop,
Yeah,
right?
more aligned with Basic Instinct, or
Okay.
as in terms of erotic thriller and stuff. They made a big deal out of it back in the day because it had like an NC-17 rating, and it was a big movie.
Oh, so it's one of those that's like pushing the...
Yeah, pushing the boundaries. Like, oh yeah, NC-17, very raunchy. You won't believe what you see.
Yeah.
And it's not, because like they were treating it as like a very sexy movie, and it's not really. In fact, all the sexy moments are like so over dramatic that it made me laugh. And
Right.
I think that's the intention. It's to show how insane it is, and that's what I like about it. It's kind of like RoboCop in terms of how Paul Verhoeven directs action and how he directs sex scenes.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. If you've seen RoboCop and you know how the action is in those films, that's literally how he handles it in Showgirls with sex scenes. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it's a fucking great film. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
One film I watched recently, I didn't even log it, but I rewatched Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1.
oh, fucking amazing.
I watch it all the fucking time, but
Yeah.
I went back to it. It's been a while. Spider-Man 1, I mean, everybody talks about 2 for the cinematic masterpiece that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man 2 is the best superhero movie ever made, in my opinion.
Hell yeah.
But 1 is as fucking good to me. I really do think so. Maybe, like, the origin story could get a little bit corny.
Yeah.
Like, the first half of it, it could be a little cliche,
Right.
but, you got to do the origin story again, especially on a rewatch. It's like, you know all this shit.
Yeah.
But I think Norman Osborn,
Oh, he's great.
Willem Dafoe's performance is one of the most memorable villain performances of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The scenes where he's just losing his mind and the voice is talking to him.
Oh yeah, man.
It's peak cinema.
Yeah.
It's forget Marvel movie. Like, this is some of the best scenes as I've ever been in a Marvel film, period.
And it's goofy but done right. I feel like the goofy moments that it tries to do, like I don't know. Whenever like Green Goblin says a line and stuff like that, it could have been handled poorly. It's like Jameson, you slime. It's
Yeah.
like, but it's Willem Dafoe, and everyone in the room is playing it straight because you have to.
That's right.
You get treated like, yeah, this is real.
And yeah, and it feels like, he's being taken over by this
Yes.
alter ego. So when he's being over the top and he's doing the voice,
Yes.
you feel like he doesn't have control of it. And you
Exactly.
also get scenes where he's the businessman Norman
Mm-hmm.
Osborn. So it contrasts so well. You do get a lot of there's a ton of great jokes in the film that,
Oh, yeah.
that hit really well. Obviously J. Jonah Jameson, like
Oh, J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons
Fucking
is
amazing.
so memorable in that film. We gotta find a way to talk about this movie. We gotta do an episode on Sam Raimi.
You know, the sad
soon.
reality is the Spider-Man films did get released in theaters.
That's-
but here's the
that's another
thing:
reason
I don't
why I
know if
talk
this
about it.
is like it in the States, but in Canada, where we are, there's like 2 fucking theaters.
in Ontario.
In Ontario.
It's like I'd have to drive 2 hours to a sold out Spider-Man 2 showing that's showing one time in the middle of the week.
Yeah, Wednesday
Yeah,
at
and it's-
7:00. It's like what?
In the States, I see people getting posters and shit. Bro, I can't even open Twitter. I'm getting so pissed off. Everyone's
Yeah.
like celebrating the original trilogy, especially 1 and 2. I saw a lot of people seeing, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, why are we not getting the re-release in Canada? Do you think it's not gonna do well?
Yeah.
like of course it is.
It's gonna do amazing. And the sad thing is, like, I don't know if the first Spider-Man film you saw, but the one I saw in theaters for the first time was Spider-Man 3.
Me
when
too.
I was 7. Yeah, I never got to see Spider-Man 1 and 2 because I was too young, and
I
it
had
would
the
have been
same
a,
experience as you. Yeah.
would have been way better if we were able to sit in a theater, watch Spider-Man 1 and 2 in theaters. It's just
All of my Spider-Man 1 viewings are on VHS. All of them.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Up until recent, like all my childhood viewings are on the VHS tape, the red VHS on the back. It's got the thing of them kissing.
yes. Oh man, I know that one.
Yeah,
the back of the
I'll
box.
put up a picture, but fucking
stuff.
classic. And I watched that movie so many times. I remember reenacting the scenes as they were as I was watching them. I would pretend, even when watching 2, I would pretend my couch was the train.
Yes.
I was trying to stop it.
Oh, Doc Ock scene. Yeah, man.
Those movies are so important to, were so important in my formative years of like why I love movies now. And I'm so glad that when I go back and watch them, they're better than I remember.
Oh yeah.
Because 90% of the films you watched as a kid, you love because you were a kid. That's just the truth. And when you go back and watch it now, especially now, like me and you, obviously we review movies. We're a
Yeah.
little bit more critical of films. So when I go back and I watch a movie I loved as a kid, and I see that it wasn't nostalgia, these really are some of the best superhero films ever made, it makes me really happy.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's like Sam Raimi didn't have this expectation from previous superhero films because there weren't that many when he was making them.
Yeah.
There was Blade, there was the Christopher Reeve Superman, and the Tim Burton Batman. That's it.
That's right.
That's all there really was. And like X-Men just came out. So his expectation was, I'm going to make a Spider-Man film with my style, and I'm going to respect the source material. And that's what he fucking did. And
Yeah.
it stands out. It still does after 20 fucking years.
Yeah, and the way he tells Peter's story is the best.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
He's not scared to have long sequences where we don't see him in the suit. He's not fighting. Man, and with these new MCU movies, it's like
They're not the same.
they're not the same in the sense that like in these old movies, it's like what happened to like Spider-Man just like saving a guy,
Yeah.
like a civilian. Now it's like it has to be like he's saving the whole world from eternal doom or whatever.
No, he has to because this Tom Holland Spider-Man fucking fought Thanos.
Right.
How do you top Thanos?
Exactly.
And it's like,
I
God
love
damn
him
it.
just like saving a little girl. Like
yeah.
those are the nice personable moments that you don't get in the new ones. I don't want to do a whole episode on but we will probably eventually.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Sam
We'll do a
Raimi.
Sam Raimi one. That would be
But
good.
that's one I watched recently. I had a lot of fun with.
Hell
But,
yeah.
But that being said, the rumors about Sam Raimi wanting to direct Avengers: Secret Wars,
God.
I don't fucking want that to happen.
No, I don't want it to happen.
The MCU is so far gone. They're not gonna let Sam do what he. I don't know. It's just so different now that it's not gonna.
You know what
not
Sam
gonna be the
Raimi
same.
should do? He should start where he began. Do
Yeah.
a horror film.
I would love to see it.
His horror films are way better. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness doesn't feel like a Sam Raimi film. I actually feel disgusted the fact that I have to call it a Sam Raimi film.
No, I know.
His last film he directed was Oz the Great and Powerful. That's what I'll stand by.
There you go.
And that film's not great, but fuck it, man. I'll take that.
Yeah. Let's get into some news.
Let's do the movie news, because there's a lot of fucking movie news happening all of a sudden.
Quentin Tarantino. So excited for his upcoming film, The Movie Critic.
Oh, no.
I can't wait. Wait a second. The film will no longer be his final film, and he's dropped the idea.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He dropped it. I feel like Quentin Tarantino wanted Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to be his last one. But because he counts Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2 as one film, he's like, fuck.
Yeah. He's like,
God damn it. I got to make my last
I
one.
really should have waited one more.
Right? So I honestly think that he just wants to perfect it.
Yeah.
And apparently in this film, the updates I did read, Cliff Booth, Brad Pitt's character, was supposed to be in this film.
Oh,
and it was supposed to be in that universe.
Tarantino-verse.
Exactly.
Cool.
And because it was set in the 70s, he would have been a little bit older than he was in Once Upon a Time. And it was supposed to cover the movie critic in that regard. But I feel like as he was writing it, he was just like, it's too similar. It's too similar to Once Upon a Time.
Maybe, yeah.
So,
and also, like, because of this whole 10 movie thing,
God damn it.
I feel like there's a lot of fake pressure that's on Tarantino now to, like, deliver his best one as his 10th. I think that's kind of just media generated. Like, you know, it's a Tarantino movie. It's going to be good. Like, there's good stuff in all his films. But I feel like he feels like my last one needs to be this magnum opus. But, like, your magnum opus was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It was.
I think I want you to do one that you're passionate about. If it really is going to be your last one, make sure it's the one. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of disappointed that The Movie Critic is not getting made. I thought the premise of just following a movie critic was interesting. Obviously, Tarantino, excellent at doing period pieces.
Of course.
He would have smoked this.
Yeah.
And who knows more about, like, movie critics like Pauline Kael. Like, we know that that's a big influence for Tarantino. So I think he would have did that story justice. But if he didn't like it, fair enough. Let's move on to the next one, and let's get working on it soon, because I want a new Tarantino movie.
You know what would be funny is if he comes back to the movie critic. He's like, all right, guys, I'm not going to set it in the 70s. He's like, when are you going to set it? It's like, late 2000s, AVGN and Nostalgia Critic. And they're like, no way. It's like, yeah, remember that moment they versed each other in that battle?
Remember that
I'm gonna
moment
make that
in history?
That was a cinematic moment in history, ladies and gentlemen. I'm fucking ready.
Agreed.
But there is another news about Scorsese. I feel like this guy's got like 6 movies that he's currently working on, and good for him.
I feel like in the same day there was stories about his Jesus movie.
Yes.
That is, there's talks about casting Andrew Garfield in that.
Yeah.
And also, Leonardo DiCaprio has been cast as Frank Sinatra in a biopic directed by Martin Scorsese. Jennifer Lawrence will star as his second wife, Ava Gardner.
Yeah.
Wow.
I will always see a Scorsese film because he has made so many amazing hits. We knew that from Killers. We knew that before that. We knew that years before. I do not fucking see Leonardo DiCaprio or Jennifer Lawrence in these roles. I just can't. He does not look like Frank Sinatra. I'm sure he'll do a good performance, but I don't see either of them. Jennifer Lawrence does not look like Ava Gardner.
I'm not sure how I feel about the casting either.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know. The trailer could sway me otherwise. We'll see. This is still pretty early in development.
That's true.
But the premise of a Frank Sinatra biopic is very interesting to me. Yeah. In the world of biopics that we're in now, where there's 10 coming out a year, Frank Sinatra, I think, is one that has not been touched. That I know of.
No, I mean, there was a TV movie called The Rat Pack where Ray Liotta played Sinatra.
Okay.
But that was very obscure, and it was a TV movie.
Yeah.
We're talking big budget.
We're talking
theater.
a Sinatra film here.
Yeah.
Sinatra's going to do we're talking Sinatra. I mean, we're talking Scorsese here.
Yeah.
And we're talking Sinatra.
Exactly.
And I think Scorsese could definitely... Scorsese knows the period well. Scorsese could do a great period, 60s, 50s period piece.
Oh, yeah.
And Sinatra is such an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of fighting demons behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like if you dive into that, and Scorsese, I just feel like this has potential to be a great film. Sure,
yeah.
you want to do the Jesus movie, like, bro, you're fucking 80 years old. You're busier than you've ever been.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna come out and what's not. I don't know how confirmed this is, but I love the premise and I'm excited.
I do, and I'm curious because if you're gonna cover Frank's life, you're gonna get some people from the Rat Pack. Who's gonna be playing Sammy Davis Jr. Who's gonna be playing Dean Martin? Who knows?
Yeah, okay.
I'm excited.
Let's plow through these next ones.
Oh yeah.
Dwayne Johnson revealed to be in an A24 movie called The Smashing Machine, directed by Benny Safdie. The film follows an MMA fighter during his peak in the UFC who struggles with addiction, winning, and love. Is The Rock finally going to get a good fucking role? Has The Rock finally decided, I'm not going to be wearing a brown button-up in whatever movie?
In the jungle.
In the jungle.
In the jungle, yeah. I am excited, but also this premise sounds eerily similar to The Wrestler starring Mickey Rourke.
Yes.
I love The Wrestler. It is really fucking good, really emotional. I hope this stands out from that movie. I hope it stands out from the fucking Zac Efron one. What was that one called?
Iron Claw.
The Iron Claw, which I saw too. Fucking great movie. Again, you just have to stand on your own. And if this is set during modern times MMA, I think he can do it. I think he can pull it off. I mean, I think he's done with the Black Adam days. He's in his 50s. Like, how long is he going to be doing this shit? Even Arnold and Stallone, when they hit their 50s, they weren't doing Rambo and Commando movies, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to slow down, man. And I feel like this could be that moment.
This could be that moment. Benny Safdie, great, obviously, the Safdie brothers, great directors.
Yep.
I'm really excited about this. I think this has potential for The Rock to actually, because I've been here quoted saying that I think The Rock is a good actor. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't pick good roles at all.
No.
So I think this has potential.
For sure.
And the last story I want to touch is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin movie is in the works. If you don't know about The Last Ronin, it was a comic series that follows... it's Michelangelo, actually.
Oh, not Raphael? Okay.
No, it's an alternative future where the last remaining turtle seeks to avenge the death of his brothers by killing the grandson of Shredder.
What?
And it's dark, and it's rated R, and if that's what they're going to do, I'm fucking here for it.
Okay.
I want to see that so bad. Please let this come to fruition.
So I'm assuming this is animated, right?
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Okay, well, dude.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
No, I'm thinking Michael Bay. Like, oh God, they're gonna do the Michael Bay Turtles. No, if this is animated,
dark stuff, like the dark atmosphere, like like Batman animated series
Ooh.
atmosphere. Imagine that.
Okay,
'Cause
like
that's
Bruce
what the
Timm,
comic
yeah.
vibes give.
Nice. I remember like reading some of the comics and. Not to say like they're the darkest, but they played it very straight, and it was like, the style felt a little bit more mature than what we got from a lot of Nickelodeon animated versions.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, I'm fucking into it. If it works, it works.
Yeah, I'm excited about some of this news. Definitely some cool stuff to look forward to in the coming. I guess none of these are going to come out anytime this year, but in the coming years, there's some stuff to look forward to, and I like that.
For sure.
We'll wrap it up there. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe to your boys. Let us know in the comments, what have you been watching lately?
Yeah.
What have we missed? What's been good? What should we watch? Let us know. We're always open to recommendations. We appreciate you guys. Take care. Brush your hair.
Peace.